All right, real quick, crazy one here, guys. 2011 Ford F450, big freaking Comcast truck, right? And the problem with it was the wiring harness was all messed up. We had all kind of fault codes, mass airflow codes and stuff too. After the fix, check this out. No fault codes in the system. Our mass airflow voltage is 0. A mass airflow grams per second that does react. Rich, can you snap that throttle for me a couple times just so everyone can see that? And I understand default values. This is not a default value. That's good. So my buddy's like pulling his hair out on why do we have 0 volts on the mass airflow sensor all the time with no fault code for the math. Disconnect the mass airflow sensor. It sets a mass airflow code and an intake air temp sensor code, right? All right, so I'm looking at the math manually. Check this out. Apologize for the video. This is off the cuff stuff here. I'm on the mass airflow signal wire, which is the yellow wire. This is a Ford that is using a GM style mass airflow sensor. I have never seen a digital math on a Ford ever. Snap out throttle for me a couple times. This is a variable frequency mass airflow sensor. This is not a variable voltage mass airflow. Okay, good. Shut that off, turn the key on. Just real quick, circuit design analysis here. Where's this square wave coming from? Does the mass airflow generate it itself, or does it modify a voltage from the computer? Let's check this out. Disconnect the math. This will answer our question whether or not this is digital circuit is pull up or pull down. Math disconnected. We're reading 5 volts on that mass airflow sensor. This is a 5 volt pull down digital mass airflow sensor. So what that answers is there's nothing wrong with the harness. The wire from the computer to the mass airflow is perfectly fine. There's your variable frequency signal. So now back to the scanner. Why does the scanner show 0 volts on the math? Because this is bull data. It's lying to us, Rich. There's nothing wrong with this car. And now one more piece. So let's scroll up, find that math. Look, mass airflow voltage 0. Now here's the weird part. And I don't know if this is a snap-on thing or not. But if I go to the custom data display, the data parameter for mass airflow voltage is not there. It is not there. The only one that's there is the mass airflow grams per second. Look at that. Oh no, it is there, Rich. I didn't see that. It wasn't there the last time I looked at this. It wasn't there. They're both there. I'm surprised. Either way, bullshit data, Rich. Bullshit data. It shouldn't be giving me mass airflow voltage. It should be giving me frequency. And in my opinion, because everything's fine, truck runs fine, no issues, no codes, you're good. I would ignore this piece of data. That's crap. Imagine not knowing circuit design and having to justify that. Start this back up for me one more time. Some shit, man. And we are positive we identified this vehicle right. 2011. I mean, it's self-identified too, right? Yeah. So, yeah. What do you do as a technician? You run around in freaking circles on some crap data. And in my opinion, a frequency generating mass airflow sensor like this one is, which is, again, first time I've ever seen that on a Ford, a frequency generating math will not report in voltage. Because if it did, let's watch the voltage for a second. There's your average voltage, 3 volts, right?
Yeah.
If I change my frequency, go ahead, snap that throttle, that voltage is not gonna move. The average may change just a bit. Go ahead, watch your average. 291, snap it, 297 to 3.01. If the scan tool was reporting that voltage, that's all it would be showing you. It should be reporting mass airflow frequency, not mass airflow voltage. This is either a snap-on issue, or B, a crap issue with this model vehicle. I've never seen a digital math on a Ford. Lots to learn in this field. Pull up, pull down circuitry was key. I'm gonna plug my book. This is chapter 2 material, man. Chapter 2, ScannerDanner Premium, ScannerDanner.com. Learn your fundamentals. Just some final thoughts on this video, just so we're clear and we're all on the same page. This particular problem occurred because of a melted harness, okay? It had mass airflow codes, multiple other issues from that melted harness I showed at the beginning. And my friend Rich, who his entire career as a technician, which is 20 plus years, is just now getting into drivability diagnostics. He's been an under-car specialist, heavy duty stuff too, very, very good mechanic. And, you know, he's getting a little bit older, body's getting beat up, and he really has wanted to get into this drivability stuff for a long time. And now he's finally doing it, and I'm helping him, and it's great to be able to do that. But can you understand why this happened to him and what the confusion was? I mean, it had mass airflow codes, multiple other codes from the melted harness. And when he was done, he was just simply being diligent in the work he was doing. He didn't want to give the car back to the customer with a mass airflow problem. He was looking at his data parameters and he sees 0 volts on the mass airflow sensor. You know, he called me up on the phone, told me the situation. And my first thought is, you know, anything you see on the scan tool under mass airflow as far as grams per second is probably a default value. There's a hard fault, the computer's recognizing it, and it's throwing in a value. We've seen that many times. Not the case. I couldn't justify why the check engine light wasn't coming on, and the fact that the truck runs fine. Now, vehicles can run fine with a faulty mass airflow when the computer runs a default strategy, but when you have that, it's always from a hard fault. You'll have a code. No code. So what's going on? I couldn't explain it to him over the phone. I didn't know. So I went to his shop to give him a hand, and that's what we saw. Pretty crazy stuff. How important was it for circuit design, to understand circuit design, that this was a digital mass airflow sensor, that it was a pull-down design circuit, that circuit integrity from the computer to the mass airflow sensor, which was always in question with a 0 volt reading, is easily able to be checked. If you understand the circuit, you see 5 volts at the sensor, unplug the sensor, you still see 5. That's coming from where? It's coming from the computer. It is a pull down circuit design, and circuit design is key. And so I want to give props to my friend Rich. Number one is you have the mind for this, Rich. You do. I've told you this, and now I'm saying it publicly. You have the mind for this kind of work. Whenever I explain something to you, you're always kind of like light bulb moment, and you're like, oh, and then you start using it and applying it. And it's really cool to watch. You know, I've been training technicians for a really, really long time. And 20 years actually at Rosedale Technical College. And I've always said that with a class of maybe 20 students, that I have 2 out of 20 at most that is really interested, number one, and capable, number 2, of doing this kind of work. And you know what? The YouTube crowd, you guys have spoiled me a little bit, because I tend to pull from that 2 out of 20. And it seems the numbers are skewed because I'm pulling from a lot bigger audience, and I have a lot more people that are engaged. And, you know, this isn't for everyone. But the fact is, the information that I'm teaching is available to you. And if you have the mind for this and you grab the bull by the horns, you can absolutely do this. And Rich, I'm proud of you, man. I really am. You did a great job on that truck, and no wonder that your head was spinning on that. I've never seen anything like that, ever. You know, a Ford system using a digital mass airflow, first one I've seen. I put this video up on Facebook, and there were some comments about what it was. Was it the scan tool? Was it, you know, something with the vehicle? And I'm not sure. I was using a Veris D10, which is an older model, but I just think that this being a heavy duty truck with that 6.8 liter engine and using a digital mass airflow, therein lies our issue with the scan tool and or truck. So, we can debate whether it was a scan tool issue or a unique operating system in that truck issue, which would definitely mess up a scan tool reading. But we can debate that. That's not important. What's important is we understand how to recognize situations like this, and it's fundamentals, guys. Learning your fundamentals. So Rich has been following me now on my premium channel, which is awesome. He's starting to watch the classroom lectures, and he's starting to fill in those gaps that he needs to be able to do this confidently. And I just wanted to say again that I'm proud of Rich. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. This stuff will keep you from beating up your body. You'll increase your pay. It'll be more of a rewarding day-to-day job, because it's detective work, and who doesn't like that, to be able to troubleshoot something and pinpoint it exactly, and then watch that car leave, and it's purring like a kitten when it leaves, and there's just nothing like it. It's one of the most fulfilling jobs when you get that car, especially from another shop that isn't running right, and you're able to fix it the first time without being a parts changer. That's what this is about. So ScannerDanner Premium from my website is where you can find my online training classes. That's www.scannerdanner.com. $11 a month, $132 a year. You're not going to find this kind of training anywhere for that price. There's 440 videos to date there, hundreds and hundreds of hours of training. Guys, you can't take a weekend class, a single day weekend class, 6 to 8 hours, for $132. You just can't. You can spend that with me for a year. For a year. It comes out to like 37 cents a day. $11 a month. Skip lunch. 1 day a month will pay for access to what I'm teaching, and you'll be able to change your career path. I promise you, you'll be able to. Read the comments under here about others who have done so, and Rich is on that path now. He's my friend, so he gets one up on you guys because he gets the personal phone call hotline to me. But I do my best in answering all of your questions on the premium channel, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Great case study, Rich. Thanks for bringing this to me, and again, proud of you, man. Keep it up.